Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Anand Bhattacharya, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Rebels claim to have captured Syria's third biggest city, Homs. Security deployment strengthens around Damascus and in the south region. United States announces a new $988 million security assistance package for Ukraine. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to visit Moscow to attend India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Military and Military Technical Cooperation. Bells of Notre Dame ring after 5 years of silence as the cathedral opens its door to the world at a historic ceremony in Paris. And in sports, Indian teenage challenger Gukesh to face China's Liren in the Game 11 of the World Chess Championship 2024, score levelled at 5-all after 10 rounds. Syrian rebels have captured the key city of Homs after only a day of fighting, and they are now closing in on capital Damascus, threatening President Bashar al-Assad's 24-year rule. Videos posted online showed rebels and locals celebrating and tearing down Assad's posters in Homs. The capture of Homs gives the rebels control over Syria's strategic heartland and a key highway crossroads, severing Damascus from the coastal region that is the stronghold of Assad's Alawite sect, and where his Russian allies have a naval base and air base as well. Meanwhile, the Syrian government has said that the security has been ramped up on the outskirts of Damascus. US President-elect Donald Trump has said that the country should not get involved in Syria. He added that Syria is not Washington's friend. In a social media post, Trump called Syria a mess. He also said that Russia, which has backed President Bashar al-Assad, was incapable of stopping rebels' march to Damascus as it was tied up in Ukraine. The United States on Saturday announced a new $988 million security assistance package for Ukraine as Washington races to provide aid to Kyiv before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. It nearly halves the available $2.21 billion remaining in Ukraine security assistance initiative as the Biden administration works to commit to buying weapons from industry rather than pull from the U.S. weapons stocks. It follows a $725 million package announced on Monday that included a second tranche of landmines as well as anti-air and anti-armor weapons. Donald Trump met in Paris earlier on Saturday with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who said any resolution of the war with Russia should be a just settlement that includes strong security guarantees for Ukraine. The meeting was of huge importance to Zelensky, given fears in Kyiv that Trump may urge Ukraine to make concessions to Moscow. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on Saturday warned that failure to continue opposing Russia's actions would have dire consequences.
And that Putin's assault on Ukraine is a warning. As I said in Kyiv in October, we are seeing a sneak preview of a world built by tyrants and thugs. A chaotic world, violent world, carved into spheres of influence. A world where bullies trample their smaller neighbors, in a world where aggressors force free people to live in fear. So we can continue to stand up to the Kremlin, or we can let Putin have his way and condemn our children and grandchildren to live in a world of chaos and conflict. This administration has made its choice, and so has a bipartisan coalition in Congress. The next administration must make its own choice. But from this library, from this podium, I am confident that President Reagan would have stood on the side of Ukraine, American security, and human freedom.
South Korea's former Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun was arrested on Sunday over his alleged role in President Yoon Suk-yeol's declaration of martial law on Tuesday. It comes a day after President Yoon Suk-yeol survived an impeachment vote over his calamitous attempt to impose martial law. Kim, who offered his resignation on Wednesday, was seen as a central figure in the country's brief martial law declaration. A senior military official and filings to impeach Yoon by opposition members said that Kim had made the proposal to Yoon. 3 minority opposition parties filed a complaint with the prosecution against Yoon, Kim and martial law commander Park An-soo, accusing them of treason. Kim faces a travel ban as prosecutors investigate. Yoon's martial law declaration plunged South Korea, Asia's fourth largest economy and a key U.S. military ally, into its greatest political crisis in decades, threatening to shatter the country's reputation as a democratic success story. Germany's far-right party, Alternative for Germany, has announced Alice Weidel as its candidate for the post of Chancellor for the snap election on the 23rd of February 2025. Weidel, who has stood out for her ability to avoid being caught up in many of the controversies surrounding her party in recent years, announces the party's manifesto calling for an end to further arms and shipments to Ukraine, the abolition of the Renewable Energy Sources Act, and secure borders. Ghana voted in a presidential and parliamentary election on the 7th of December amid hopes for an economic revival. The ballots counting started on Saturday after a tight election, with the ruling party's Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia trying to shake off anger over economic woes and counter a challenge by opposition party candidate ex-President John Mahama. Voting was mostly calm, but police said at least 2 people were shot dead in separate incidents. Ghana's struggling economy dominated the election after the West Africa gold and cocoa producer went through a debt default, high inflation, and negotiations for a $3 billion IMF bailout. Weather updates from across the globe now. Dozens of U.S.-bound migrants stuck in a makeshift camp in Mexico City brave rough living conditions as overnight temperatures dropped this week. These migrants, mostly from Venezuela and other Central American countries, have been forced to live in tents constructed from basic materials like boards and plastic bags, with little to protect them from the elements. As the temperature dipped to a chilling 1 to 3 degrees Celsius during the night, many were left grappling with extreme cold, leading to health concerns, particularly for young children. Authorities have put double yellow and orange alert in the region. Northern Ireland Electricity Networks will open community assistance centres across Northern Ireland on Sunday as about 22,000 homes remain without power following Storm Darragh. Powerful gale force winds started to blow in overnight on Saturday, with winds of 93 miles per hour measured at Capel Curig in North Wales. Storm Darragh will bring several hazards, including wind gusts of up to 70 to 80 millimeter per hour around western coast, especially from Devon and Cornwall to southwest Scotland and Northern Ireland. Wind speeds in inland areas will be slightly reduced, with maximum gusts expected to reach 60 to 70 miles per hour. Notre Dame's famous bells tolled as the cathedral reopened its doors on Saturday in a ceremony that was enveloped in liturgical rites. Priests filed in a procession in front of iconic arched doors of the cathedral as the bells rung. Paris Archbishop Laurent Ulrich, whose seat is at the Notre Dame, called upon Our Lady to open the doors of the newly restored church and knocked 3 times with her staff. The knocks were answered with the reawakening of the organ and a children's choir singing a psalm. The Archbishop ceremoniously pushed the door open, his entrance tracing the sign of the cross at the doorstep. The word mercy was projected onto the facade of the Notre Dame's Cathedral in thanks to those who helped salvage the landmark after the devastating fire. The first responders who helped preserve the Gothic masterpiece and some of those who subsequently restored it received a standing ovation. In a rare moment of unity, world leaders convened in Paris to attend the ceremonial reopening of the famed Notre Dame Cathedral. Among the guests was US President-elect Donald Trump, US First Lady Jill Biden, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Prince William. Notre Dame has been meticulously restored with a new spire and rib vaulting. Its flying buttresses and carved stone gargoyles return to their past glory, and white stone and gold decorations shining brightly once again. A look now at other stories making news across the globe. Dubai unveils the world's largest pure gold bar on the market, weighing 300.12 kilograms, worth around 25 million US dollars. The bar is made of 24-karat gold and is crafted to perfection, showcasing the exceptional refining and craftsmanship that Dubai is known for. UAE continues to expand its role as a financial center, with the global demand for gold and precious metals reaching new heights. HBO's Harry Potter TV series is set to premiere next summer, generating significant excitement among fans of the iconic book and film franchise. The series, which will be reimagining of J.K. Rowling's beloved Harry Potter novels, is expected to offer a fresh take on the magical world while staying true to the essence of the original story. The TV adaptation, produced by Warner Brothers and under the banner of HBO Max, will span multiple seasons, with each season dedicated to one of the 7 books in the series. This allows for deeper exploration of the characters, themes and magical lore that fans have loved for over 2 decades. Unlike the original films, which had to condense much of the source material, the series will have the time and space to delve into the finer details of the wizarding world. Casting for the series has been a topic of much speculation, as fans eagerly await the announcement of new actors who will take on the roles of Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley and other beloved characters. While it is expected that new fresh faces will be cast, the series promises to bring back the magic that made the original books and films so special. The TV series is set to build upon the success of the Wizarding World franchise, which includes the Fantastic Beasts film series, theme park attractions and other merchandise. HBO's Harry Potter series will likely attract both new fans and those who have been enchanted by the Wizarding World for years. With a reported release slated for next summer, fans can look forward to the beginning of a new era of magical storytelling on the small screen. Expect high production values, stunning visual effects and a faithful yet innovative approach to the world of witches, wizards and magical creatures. The cast details are yet to be finalized. During a recent interaction, director and producer Mark Mylord Jordan Light's Christmas tree at historic Jesus baptism site marked the holiday season with a somber yet hopeful reflection. This year's ceremony was marked by a somber reflection on the challenges faced by many around the world, particularly in West Asia. The tree, though simply adorned, stood as a symbol of resilience, a beacon of light. More than 100 dogs and their owners took part in Hungary's first Santa Dog Walk across a park in the city centre of Budapest. Dogs and owners alike showed up in a variety of Christmas-themed costumes and strolled through the city park together, gathering for a group photo at the end of the event. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to participate in the Manama Dialogue in Bahrain. Ashtalakshmi Mahotsav, the three-day-long festival celebrating the unique cultural, social and economic contributions of Northeast India, to conclude today. And in sports, we'll get you an update on the second India versus Australia test in Adelaide. Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will visit Russia on Sunday to attend the 21st meeting of the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Military and Military Technical Cooperation. During the visit, the Defence Minister of India and Russia will review the entire range of multifaceted relations between the two countries in the field of defence, including military-to-military and industrial cooperation. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will also commission the Indian Navy's latest multi-role stealth-guided missile frigate INS Tushil at Yantra Shipyard in Kaliningrad and pay tributes at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Moscow to honour the Soviet soldiers that were killed during the Second World War. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is in Bahrain's capital Manama on the second day of his tour to participate in the Manama Dialogue. His visit follows a series of significant diplomatic engagements in Doha, underscoring India's proactive approach to addressing regional and global challenges. The minister was received by Bahrain's Foreign Minister Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani. The theme of this year's 20th edition of Manama Dialogue is Middle East leadership in shaping regional prosperity and security. It reflects the region's pivotal role in global stability. Known for its inclusive approach, the forum serves as a critical venue for conflict resolution, counterterrorism strategies, and fostering innovative and diplomatic solutions. Dr. S. Jaishankar will also be co-chairing the 4th India-Bahrain High Joint Commission. The ministerial meeting aims to review bilateral relations and explore avenues to enhance cooperation in key areas, reinforcing the strong partnership between India and Bahrain. Earlier, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar highlighted India's substantial stakes in regional stability. Speaking alongside Qatar's Prime Minister and Norway's Foreign Minister at the Conflict Mediation in a New Era panel discussion, Dr. Jaishankar revealed India's ongoing diplomatic engagement with both Presidents Putin and Zelensky regarding the Ukraine conflict, while emphasizing that this conflict will not be resolved on the battlefield.
Always held to the view that this war is not going to be solved on the battlefield. That at the end of the day, people are going to return to some kind of negotiating table, the sooner the better. And our effort has been to facilitate that to the extent possible. We're not attempting a peace plan. We're not doing a mediation in that sense. We are doing multiple conversations and very transparent about telling each party, saying, look, at the end of the conversation, this is what we're going to tell the other party. We think that's, at this point of time, the most useful.
Dr. Jaishankar also made the case for an innovative and participative diplomacy.
There are so many conflicts. I mean, we are trying to do something in Ukraine. We see Myanmar as almost a kind of a forgotten conflict, where there's an approach like, let's not invite them and the problem will solve itself. So I think there is a greater case for more vigorous diplomacy, for more innovative diplomacy, for a more participative diplomacy, and I think more countries need to have the boldness to bite that bullet.
Dr. Jaishankar made it clear that US is India's largest trading partner and India has no interest in weakening the dollar.
Rick's remark was concerned. I think, I'm not exactly sure what was the trigger for it, but we've always said that, look, India has never been for de-dollarization. Right now, there is no proposal to have a BRICS currency. BRICS do discuss financial transactions, but certainly where India, BRICS doesn't, each country doesn't have an identical position on this. But where India is concerned, certainly, look, the United States is our largest trade partner, and we have no interest in weakening the dollar at all.
The Ashtalakshmi Mahotsav, a flagship event by the Government of India to celebrate the vibrant culture and development of the northeastern states, will conclude today. The 3-day-long festival attracted thousands of visitors over the weekend at New Delhi's Bharat Mandapam. Here's a report.
The highlight of Day 2 is the first technical session titled Catalyzing Northeast's Progress for a Viksit Bharat at 2047. The session focused on unlocking the immense potential of the northeastern region in shaping a developed India. The panel discussion was graced by the Minister of Development of the Northeastern region and the Chief Ministers of the 8 northeastern states. These esteemed leaders delve into strategies for fostering economic growth, enhancing connectivity and promoting sustainable development in this culturally rich and resource-abundant region.
कि जो हमारे लोगों की क्षमता है, चाहे वो बुनकर हो, चाहे हॉर्टिकल्चरिस्ट हो, उनको आप पूरा वैल्यू चेन बनाओ. या तो आप पाइनएप्पल की बात करो, या मोगा या एरी सिल्क की बात करो, या आगर की बात करो. उन लोगों को जो मेहनत मशक्कत करते हैं और पीढ़ियों से, ये पूर्वजों से विरासत में उनको मिली है, उनको उस पूरे वैल्यू चेन का केवल 5 या 10% मिलता है. बाकी 90% वैल्यू चेन बाकी इंडस्ट्री ले जाती है. हमारा लक्ष्य होना चाहिए, और यही मैंने हमारे प्रदेश शासनों से भी निवेदन किया है कि साथ में मिलकर काम करना चाहिए कि उस वैल्यू चेन का सबसे बड़ा भाग हमारे स्थानीय लोगों को मिलना चाहिए, ताकि उनकी आमदनी हम लोग बढ़ा पाएं.
The Ashtalakshmi Mahotsav, named after the 8 manifestations of Goddess Lakshmi, symbolizes the prosperity and promise of the 8 northeastern states. The event underscores the Government of India's commitment to integrating the region into the national growth narrative. This celebration of Northeast India continues, showcasing its vibrant heritage and discussing transformative policies to make the region a pivotal contributor to India's vision of becoming a Viksit Bharat by 2047. With inputs from Kriti Vadera, DD India.
India's Union Ministers Jyotiraditya Scindia and Sukanta Majumdar doubled up as models and walked the ramp at the Ashtalakshmi Mahotsav fashion show being held at New Delhi's Bharat Mandapam on Saturday. Scindia and Majumdar, donning the northeastern style jackets, walked on the ramp to promote northeast fashion. On to sports news now. Indian teenage challenger Gukesh and China's Liren will face each other once again in the Game 11 of the World Chess Championship 2024 on Sunday. Earlier, Game 10 ended in a 7th consecutive draw on Saturday, leaving the score tied at 5 points each in the 14-match series. Each player has won one game apiece, with Ding taking the opening match and Gukesh coming back to defeat the champion in Game 3. The rest of the rounds have ended in a draw. If both remain tied after 14 rounds, the match will move to a tiebreaker, which will be played on 13th December. In cricket, India will look to score at least a decent lead against Australia on the day 3 of the second test in Adelaide. India slumped to 128 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in the second innings on Saturday, after which they are still trailing in fact by 29 runs. Australia rode on Travis Head's blistering 140 to post 337 in the first innings and stay on course for a series levelling victory. Australia's pace battery further consolidated their position by blowing away the top half of India's batting order. Rishabh Pant and Nitish Kumar Reddy were batting on 28 and 15 at the close of play with 29 runs still left. Meanwhile, Pat Cummins and Scott Boland took 2 wickets apiece to peg back Indian innings. India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platforms. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audiences. If you also want great content for free, then download Waves today. That's all in this edition of DD India Live. Do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Anu Bhattacharya from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.